Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It's Monday the 12th of June. I'm Nigel Croft. In this video we'll be looking at 3 US tech stocks. The tech sector in the US came off quite sharply on Friday. We'll be looking at Amazon, which found support at its 50-day and bounced and closed very close to the 54-hour moving average. NVDA, where there was an engulfing bearish pattern and also a broker downgrade to 130. On the charts, that is feasible. And we'll be looking at Apple, where again we're finding support from the 50-day moving average. So let's start with Amazon, and you can see that on the pullback on Friday we did find support at the 50-day moving average, but did close below the 20-day. Hard to see. Let's just zoom in for a second on that period, and you can see that let's just check. You can see the high of Friday was at 1012.99. Right, it wasn't quite an engulfing bearish pattern on Amazon. Sorry, I was just checking that live, just for clarification. So not quite an engulfing bearish pattern. That would have been if we'd gone to a new high, and then as the body did, if it did engulf the whole of the previous day, that would have been very bearish. So it wasn't quite that, but obviously a big candle like that, a big body like that, encompassing over a week's trading, isn't positive, and will, even though it wasn't an engulfing pattern, will be seen as negative. The positive aspects were that we bounced from the 50-day, and that also we closed towards the 20-day. 20-day still moving upwards, so still a positive influence on the market. I mean, obviously a move like that completely clobbered the RSI. Didn't go below 50, stayed at 52, but will probably go down below 50 today. And the MACD as well cracked down, started to shout a sell. Where will we go from here on the daily? I mean, obviously the 50-day is the key support. That is edging up quite strongly. In a couple of days that'll be 950. You'll see that there is support at that 950 level as well. So I'd put that down as a marker in the sand, that probably where we'll drift to over the next few days. Looking at the longer term picture, I mean, here you can see that the bull trend is very much in place. Solid uptrend, moving average is moving up. Yes, the RSI has ticked down, but still in its uptrend, and the MACD is still showing positive momentum. So even given the move on Friday, the longer term picture hasn't deteriorated. What would need to deteriorate for this picture to get worse would be a complete consolidation and really a move down below the 20-week, which at that point would be about 900. It's presently 894. Looking at the shorter term, and here you can see that we found support from the 50, which is the 54-hour moving average, and we closed on that level. So that'll be a factor as we open today. That's presently at 976.37. If we go below there, you can see that there is supports from the 944, and obviously the low of Friday 929.4 would be a support factor as well. Here the RSI is completely cracked downwards, 38.94, and the MACD showing negative momentum as well. So looking at the support resistance levels, resistance 1's at the 20-day, 983.36. Resistance 2 from the 20, from the 4 hour, 1001.05. with support at that 50-day 942.01 and 882.8. Moving on to NVIDIA. Now here there was a bearish engulfing pattern. You can see that we opened very much to the upside, went lower, and the whole candle body engulfs the previous day, which is a bearish factor and would make you expect lower downside. There was also a broker downgrade with a target of 130, and you can see that there is support at that 130 level. Before there will be support from the rising 20-day at 141.09. If the sell-off continues, as you can see the high volume on this sell-off that we had on Friday, that's another negative to be thrown into the pot. If that volume continues today, you will see that 20-day 141.08 being broken, with the next support, as I said, around about the 130, and then at the rising 50-day 118.75. MACD's broken its uptrend, cracked downwards, but still above 50. MACD still flatlining actually, but another down day, and you will see that diverge to the downside. Looking at the longer term, very much like Amazon, you can see that the uptrend's still in place. On this chart, you can see that we are overextended away from the moving averages, so some consolidation would actually be healthy. RSI is actually overbought as well, as it's at 80, and the MACD showing positive momentum, but again a massive divergence between the short and longer term, so looking for some consolidation on the weekly. And on the short 4-hour chart, you can see that we found support from the 24-hour and closed above. That will give support today as well, 147.17, with the 50-day the 54-hour at 135.10. RSI's cracked down, still above 50, and the MACD just starting to crack. So really, let's see if these supports hold today. On the support to resistance levels, we have got resistance at the high 168.4, and then supports 147.17, which is the 24-hour, and the second support 141.08, which is the 20-day. Moving on to the last stock we're looking at today, Apple. Again, like Amazon, it wasn't an engulfing picture, bearish picture, but it is negative. Again, it found support at the 50-day. The RSI did crack below 50, and the MACD gave us a sell recommendation. So the 50-day here is the key. That's at 148.56. Below there, the support comes in about 141.2. On the longer term picture, again, it looks okay. This consolidation will probably prove to be a flag. The moving averages are moving upwards and will catch up quite soon. And the MACD still at 65. Sorry, the RSI still at 65. MACD's flat lining. So an area of consolidation, would be healthy for this in the longer term. Looking at the short term, we cracked down below the 20 and the 54-hour moving averages. They'll start to roll down. In fact, the 24-hour already has started to, so would be resistance on any bounce today. In between the moving averages, you can see how much extended they were from the 200, but you can see this band of supports at the 141.2 level, and really that should hold for the short term. MACD is negative, and RSI obviously below 50 at 30.37. And looking at the support to resistance levels, got resistance 1 at the 24-hour, 153.69. Resistance 2 at the 20-day, 153.72. With support 148.56, which held on Friday. That's the 50-day and then at 144.27. So that's been TA for Traders, having a look at 3 tech stocks. I hope you found the video of interest. Please remember, these videos are not an investment recommendation. They're just for educational purposes and are my opinions and the way that I read charts. But I do hope you find them of interest. I'm away for a couple of days, so I'll be back on Thursday with more videos. If you subscribe, you'll get an email when I do the next videos. Remember, I don't just cover stocks. I also cover the commodity markets, the equity indices, and the Forex markets. Thanks for watching.